Corporate burnout is real. I come from the software engineering side. My story is that I worked for 2 years and 2 months before becoming so burnt out that I needed to take an extended amount of time off to recover. And in my opinion, the company I worked for was one of the better ones. It's been almost 2 years, and only now am I feeling recovered enough to apply for jobs again. Not that anyone is actually replying to my applications because of my large work gap, but that's the me problem. What am I doing instead of working, you may ask? Well, for the first 3 months, I did mostly nothing. It felt like my system was in a state of shock. I would wake up, read books, watch YouTube videos, movies, anime, maybe go outside, sometimes. Afterwards, I would sleep. Wake up, rinse, and repeat. Eventually, motivation returned. I recovered. Then, I became bored. And let me tell you, nothing is more powerful than boredom. I started doing things. Drawing. My friend, who I'll tell you is an exceptionally good artist, was constantly surprised at my progress. I was surprised too. I've since put this on the back burner though because of my other goals, but I really miss it. Writing. I finished a book, to draft 3 even, and an entire rewrite. 300,000 words. I'm still working on it. I've given it to a friend to read for feedback, and well, I'm really proud of it. Streaming. I've wanted a non-anime VTuber for a while now, and I finally made one. That's what this semi-creepy boy here is. Hello. It doesn't really work the same as other models you see, but I made it myself. The software that it runs and everything. I'm pretty happy with it. It does the job, for the most part. Why did I only really have time for all this when I stopped working? Maybe I'm wrong in thinking this, but I think there should be more than enough time to work on other aspirations alongside whatever job you have. The time I've spent away from work has been exceptionally more fulfilling than when I was employed. That isn't to say there hadn't been some fulfillment at my job. The work I was doing was cool. I'm not going to say what it was, privacy. I genuinely felt pride in my work, and still do all these years later. I'm happy that I was there and that I did the things that I did. But at the end of the day, it was a lot. The raises were low, the work got repetitive, there weren't enough vacation days, too many required hours a week. It felt like I barely had the time and energy to do the things in my off hours. The amount of stress, exhaustion, and anxiety the job gave me was too much for the amount of fulfillment and enjoyment I was given in exchange. Too much of my time was taken, both explicitly in hours worked and implicitly in time needed to recover. I want to work. Compensate me for my time and effort, please. But don't try to burn me from both ends. Please. Is it really necessary? I understand that you want to be rich, but I don't really care. In fact, currently, I don't even care about myself getting rich. I once told a friend that I wanted to be rich. He gave me this look and said, "Why?" I've been thinking about that interaction ever since. Why wouldn't I want to be rich? Isn't it a normal thing that people want? If you're rich, you can do anything you want. You don't have to work endless hours in poor conditions, play stupid corporate games in order to keep or get a job. You could avoid all the negatives of work. Why wouldn't I want to be rich? Right? As time went on, I continued to ponder my friend's remark. I began to realize it wasn't the money that I wanted. It was the experiences and time the money would afford me. I don't need to be wealthy, as long as I'm not overworked and have the time to do what I want. Not everyone can be rich anyways. We need to find a middle ground so everyone can be fulfilled. So, yeah, that's it. I don't want to be rich. I just want enough time to do more than work 40 plus hours a week. What would I need all that money for anyways? Status? So I can afford my own yacht? Why would I want that? A big mansion? Why would I want that? What's the point? To be seen as better than everyone else? Status is kind of embarrassing when you think about it. Or maybe I need all that just so I can recover from the time I spent working. How about I just work less instead? How about I don't make my margin of success a state in which I'm better than everyone else? Excess is pointless. It's just a vain, vapid, and empty pursuit. All I want is time. Time and energy to work on what is important to me. Lately, that's my book and whatever this is that I'm doing on YouTube. Hi. Let's talk about vacation days. 2 weeks starting is simply not enough. The starting should be minimum 1 month. We have 1 to 2 months a year in school, and now we're down to half a month in industry? Are you kidding? No wonder the turnover rate in software engineering is so low. No wonder everyone everywhere is so burnt out. Not to mention, corporations seem to consider vacation days as a recovery period from work. There so that I can be refreshed only to be spent again by corporations who only care about money. I think it's telling that most jobs give you the bare minimum required by law. If they are going to give us the bare minimum, then let's raise the minimum. Please. Vacations and time off should be there so that you can achieve other goals aside from grinding 40+ hours a week. They shouldn't be there just so you can recover from being ground into dust. Tell me, what do you want to do that you haven't had the time or money for? Do you want to learn how to draw? Make your own company? Learn to sing? Do you want to go to Japan, Europe, America, Mexico, write a book? I don't know. Maybe you just want to play video games, and that's fine too, so long as it's intentional. The goal isn't to reset your battery just so you can work again. Jobs themselves need to be sustainable. Don't give me these mental health perks so I can simultaneously recover from overwork whilst being overworked. That's the most demented kind of race I can think of. How about you fix the root of the actual problem instead of just placing a band-aid over top? The corporate ladder can suck it. My goal in life isn't just to work endlessly in a company, only to wake up one day and realize I'm too old to do the things I actually wanted to have done. Or maybe they'll give me a reward, a coffee mug, while the already rich stakeholders get another yacht. Ugh. What's the point? Working for 5 days a week, often more than 8 hours a day, sometimes on weekends, unpaid breaks, all this so that someone else who is simply luckier can reap all the benefits. What about my aspirations, my dreams, my goals? Get out of here. In case you were wondering, the breaks at work aren't for me, Mr. or Miss Corporation. They're for you. I work better when I take a break. It better be paid or else I won't take it and my work will suffer. Why are you so stupid? In some industries, there's lots of talk about a 4-day work week. This is better for both the worker and the corporation. We work better when we work less. This is a massive step in the right direction for everyone. Capitalism is, overall, a good thing. It's a system of organization that allows for the fast proliferation and discovery of business methods and technology. It is what has made our life so good in the current age. But I think it needs to be tempered a little bit. It reminds me of those AI doomsday scenarios. Tell a super advanced AI to make as many paperclips as possible, and it conquers the world. It can make the most amount of paperclips if we aren't able to stop it. Tell a purely capitalistic system that it needs to make as much money as possible. Then it buys the government and convinces people they deserve less than what they're worth. They can make the most money possible if it doesn't have to care about people. Profit, from a human perspective, shouldn't be everything. The corporate landscape is disingenuous. It's a lot of pretending to care whilst being aggressively money-centric. Can we please be more focused on increasing the well-being and fulfillment of people? You can make lots of money and not grind people to dust at the same time. I understand that money is important, but people don't need billions. Would it really affect most bottom lines if you stopped actively underpaying your employees? If you gave them more than 2 weeks starting vacation? Do you really need another super yacht? Do you really need to squash those onions? Imagine what people could do if they had the time to be bored. Maybe they could improve the systems around them. Maybe they could be the next Einstein or Tolkien. Who knows? We don't because we keep grinding them into currency. I like to imagine what life would be like with universal basic income. If your job is not better than doing nothing, then I would rather do nothing. At least then I could be fulfilled by writing a book or something. Ugh. With the amount of automation being invented, we might be coming upon a better time. And I certainly hope we are, because it's a lot. Thank you for watching and listening to my mostly incoherent ramble.